You're listening to RFD Town Country Partners, connecting you with the food you eat, the Illinois farmers who grow it, and the food-related events, destinations, and lifestyles that make our state great.
Hey, good day to you. Welcome to RFD Town Country Partners. I'm Rita Frazier.
I'm Jenna Preston.
And we also have
Katie Spangler.
Katie Spangler is also in studio with us as we are all in state fair mode, including our telephone guest, Heather Hampton-Nodal, Montgomery County farmer, 4-H leader, women in agriculture. And as you mentioned, Heather, you're just back and forth to the state fair yourself.
We are. Our daughter just told us yesterday she would like to try to show cattle next year, so this means both Brian and I showed cattle as we were growing up, but that'll be a new one for our family. That'll mean even more state fair possibly next year. But, yeah, we've been up with Montgomery County to show at the general show, and I helped out with the Illinois State 4-H Foundation, and I'll be back tomorrow for Ag Day and 4-H Hall of Fame things.
So you'll be wearing a couple of different hats, but for the Women in Ag group, tell us a little bit about that and what we can expect. Your impression of Ag Day, because you've been there, I don't know, every year for 20 at least.
Yeah, 30 some years, I think now. Yes, so Illinois Agri-Women tomorrow at Ag Day will be recognizing our 2018 Hall of Fame winner, our Outstanding Woman in Agribusiness, and our Farm Woman of the Year as well, and I believe we'll also be recognizing an Outstanding Agriculture Educator. So we offer a scholarship to students pursuing degrees in agriculture education, and I think that may be part of the rollout tomorrow as well that our Vice President, Deb Schultz, will be helping with.
Well, it's interesting, Heather, because we mentioned Katie Spangler being in the building or in the studio here with us today. We listened to that interview that you and your dad did actually back in January because Katie had mentioned to me that on Ag Day every year she seeks your father out as someone that she must talk to on Agriculture Day. And Katie, you just said, it's you based, it's U of I based, but more than anything, he makes you feel good.
Yeah, he does. I don't want to interrupt Katie, but
yeah,
I'm his daughter, and he makes me feel good, too.
He's just one of those people that, when you talk to, you just feel good. You feel good about life and ag, and I told Rita, I feel like after each talk, like I've listened to an inspirational speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, and it could be just as simple as just, how are you doing, and how's your family?
Right.
But he is planning on being there. Actually, we spoke this morning, and he said, well, let's touch base later in the day, and then we'll, figure out where and when we'll see each other exactly. In between, there's so many meetings and events that get built into Ag Day. It's always exciting, but it can be tiring by the time the Sale of Champions rolls around at the end of the day.
Yeah, no question. Now, you talk with us a lot about linking the farm to consumers, and all the people that are there are in the same business. And these girls, Jenna and Katie, both get it. Heather, they have the passion that you have, that your father has, and you can't really teach that, can you?
Oh, I don't think so. I think a lot of people are, some people might catch it, kind of like a fever. They might catch the fever, but there's something in them that is drawn to it to begin with. And I was admiring a friend of mine, although I've posted things on Facebook over time for our 4-H Club or for the Montgomery CEO program, our young entrepreneurs, I haven't actually friended, in quotation marks, anyone until the last 3 weeks. And now I'm kind of scrolling through looking at people's Facebook updates, and there's a friend of mine. She actually came from Brazil. So she has a PhD in agronomy and married a farmer here in Iroquois County in Illinois, a friend of ours. And they were at the fair yesterday with their 3 boys. And the 2 boys, one had corn, one had soybeans, and they both received superiors. But I'm looking at her post over time, and I'm thinking, what a great job she's doing, just kind of promoting their vegetable gardening and what they're doing, farming, just with social media. And I think there's so many people sharing that message through those formats that hats off to them, doing a great job. Besides the way I've approached it has been through many other channels. And I'm a little more sensitive to posting things about our children all the time. But I just really respect those people who are doing that on a day in and day out basis.
Well, and the other thing is, in the livestock buildings, and I think that everyone, as you said, has done a better job, but hopefully, consumers feel free to ask questions. It is a format, not only on the county level at county fairs, but the state fair for consumer education.
It absolutely is, and my hope is that those exhibitors, because I've been there, when you are intense and you are ready to be in the ring, everything's been leading up to this moment, right? And at that moment, someone who you don't know may come up and say, why do you have, what's this thing called that you're holding in your hand, right? And it may just be a show stick or maybe a soft brush. It may be the lead itself. And hopefully our producers and our young exhibitors, I'm sure I have a lot of confidence in them, will take that moment and just have a friendly conversation about what they're doing or, how they keep their hogs cool in this hot environment or whatever circumstance they find themselves in.
So we're going to be visiting tomorrow about these and other issues, celebrating ag on the state fairgrounds. But we also wanted to just kind of touch base on your November conference for the women in agriculture and all that's going to be there. It's such an opportunity.
Oh, my gosh. I am so pumped. We have an outstanding lineup of speakers, November 15th through the 18th. And really a lot of the speakers at our American Agri-Women Convention, which is Create Your Future, Lead the Field. That's our theme this year. A lot of them are geared on that Friday and Saturday, trying to accommodate people's work schedules so that they could come in on the weekend at least. And it will be in Springfield at the Wyndham. But we have some real, literally power hitters in their fields. So Allison von Innenem, she's been in food evolution. She is a leading animal genomics researcher, talking about CRISPR technology and GMOs, the whole food debate. Phil Sang, who has literally personally negotiated many, many trade deals, more than 100 countries around the globe as it relates to U.S. red meat exports, and he has a specialization in Asia. So I think the timing of having him speak in Illinois is outstanding. John Duarte, he's the president, owner of the largest permanent nursery in the United States, and he's going to be talking to us about not waters of the U.S., but actually some federal agencies and court rulings that he's been part of, kind of a landmark case related to wetlands determination and how the simple act of plowing became a federal court case. So it just goes on and on. We have speakers talking about how to, look your best, dress your best, the best look for you, going from whether it's a farm or your office to the Capitol or wherever you have to be. We have speakers talking about how to work in teams and communication and locks and dams. It's just really a really full conference, and I hope people check it out online.
Sounds terrific. And who is it open to?
It is open to anyone with an interest in agriculture. Our primary target market is women in agriculture, but we have rates available for members of Agri-Women, the organization. We also have a registration rate for non-members. We have student rates and one-day rates. Say you can only break away for one day. We try to accommodate that. And for those people who have guests, maybe a spouse or children who are able to be independent, we also have a guest tour going on Friday that they can sign up for. And we have pre- and post tours as well. So it's really, I think, people who have a genuine interest in agriculture. It's especially geared toward people who are looking for information they can apply. You can take this information and go home and apply it to your farm, your business, your personal life as soon as you leave the event.
Just about a minute left, and we have Jenna, who's going back to college in a couple of weeks. Katie is starting her career in agriculture as young women in ag. What's your best advice?
Whew. In 1 minute or less.
I know.
I think it's just, be your best self and be authentic. Right.
That's awesome.
I try to sum it up, right? But,
and you
follow your dreams and be honest.
And you live it, and we can't wait to see you and celebrate agriculture with you, Heather Hampton Nodal, on the grounds of the Illinois State Fair tomorrow. I know you've got a house full of kids and lots of stuff going on there on the farm. So thanks for joining us for our monthly visit. We'll check in with Heather next month right here, more on education and leading 4-H groups. And after the destination and food segment, we'll come back and visit with those young ladies, Jenna Preston and Katie Spengler, about their adventures on the Illinois State Fairgrounds. We can look for more tomorrow online. This is Town and Country Partners.
When it comes to our members, Chris Magnuson connects rural routes for you. Chris leads Illinois Farm Bureau's efforts to provide valuable information to our members. He has spent 2 decades with IFB. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a farm with corn, soybeans, and Christmas trees. I've been in ag communication for 3 decades now. My greatest satisfaction has always remained the same, to serve our members.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
All ag.
All Illinois.
All now.
There are a lot of smartphone apps out there, but do they have what's important to us here in Illinois? The Farm Week Now app does, and it's always at your fingertips. All ag, all Illinois, and 24/7 where and when you need it for free. Go to your app or Play Store on your smartphone, hit search, type in Farm Week Now, that's one word, and download it today. Brought to you by Illinois Farm Bureau, where we're all about farm, family, and food.
With what happens on the farm can impact your family and is related to food, I'm Mike Orso with RFD Town and Country Partners. Illinois farmer Jack McCormick farms close to the Kaskaskia River, so most of what he grows goes to the Gateway FS terminal not far from his farm, loaded to barges, shipped down the Mississippi River, and packed into ships bound for the export market. Here's how he describes the impact of the current trade war.
Well, that's making it tough, Mike. It really does. I think there's at least $1 that's come out of the soybean market, probably closer to $2. And, when we planted our crop, we were looking at soybeans at $10. Well, today it's 8 something. And, we had the best intentions. We planted a crop we thought we were going to make a profit on and be successful. And that has all changed here through the growing system, through the growing season, rather. And hopefully this gets ironed out sooner than later, because farmers really don't know where their livelihood is.
The farm economy in Illinois had been reeling even before the trade war. Net farm income is half of what it was just 5 years ago, a 12-year low. Farm debt levels are at record highs, and farm bankruptcies have jumped, in some cases, 50 to 100%. McCormick, who farms in southwest Illinois, believes some parts of the rural part of our state are not strong enough to withstand a prolonged trade war.
Farmers just don't know, and that's no good. Not a good place for agriculture. We need to know that we've got good markets, that we can make a profit, that we need to know we're going to be in business next year. And there are some folks that maybe aren't sure of that right now.
The University of Illinois has been tracking the trade saber-rattling with China, Canada, Mexico, and the European Union. It shows a direct correlation between the tariffs and the prices of many commodities tanking since June.
Just entering doubt into the trade picture. Other countries are going to say, well, maybe they've got it today, but maybe there's going to be a tariff on me tomorrow. I don't know if I want to deal with that country or not. It's not a sure thing. I want to look somewhere else. You don't ever want to induce doubt into the market. It makes all your customers then do a double take or think about whether it's a good idea to do business with you or not.
Agriculture had been a bright spot in our nation's balance of trade. What McCormick and some other farmers fear is that a lingering trade war will cause long-term damage if the U.S. cannot be trusted as a reliable trading partner. For RFD Town and Country Partners, I'm Mike Orso.
Illinois Farm Bureau wants you to get to know us. Check out our new look at ilfb.org. We're your mobile-friendly go-to source for all things ag-related. Find out how we help farmers and Illinois agriculture have a stronger voice in Washington. Learn about our programs, projects, and activities to help ag professionals become stronger leaders. See what we stand behind as an organization as you explore our role in the big picture of agriculture. Visit ilfb.org, your link to Illinois Ag.
Farm Week and FarmWeekNow.com journalist Daniel Grant connects rural routes for you. With more than 2 decades of reporting under his belt, Dan is the go-to source for farmers when it comes to commodities. Here's a bit about his rural roots.
I grew up on a grain and livestock farm near Roseville in Warren County. What I love about my job is working with people, traveling across Illinois, and visiting farms along the way.
Be it routes or roots, RFD Radio, FarmWeekNow.com, and Farm Week keep you connected.
We're back on Town and Country Partners. Rita Frazier, Jenna Preston, and Katie Spangler. You guys have been busy. Tell us about your idea, Katie, and what you guys were doing last Friday and what you'll continue to do tomorrow at the State Fair.
So we decided that we wanted to showcase some of the hidden gems of the Illinois State Fair that maybe, if you don't show livestock or if you're not like an annual fair goer, you might not know about. So Jenna and I decided that we would kind of help bridge that gap with the consumer and the farmer and highlight some of those. So we had an absolute blast going around the State Fair on Friday and finding the hidden gems that we could share with everyone on Facebook.
Jenna, what was your favorite part of Friday?
That's a tough question because, the apple cider slushies, those are fantastic. But then going back to the dairy building where I was an intern there as well and showcasing, the butter cow, the hidden gem is really the cream puffs there and the ladies that make the cream puffs. And it was great to showcase that today on the Illinois Farm Bureau Facebook. So, I don't know. It's a toss-up.
The whole thing.
Yes.
So, what are you guys looking forward to the most, Katie? I know we mentioned with Heather Hampton you'll be a part of the Ag Breakfast throughout the day, but what are you looking forward to?
I think, Ag Day itself is just a total blast. And my aunt, when I was younger, she took me to my first Ag Day. I was a junior in high school. And just being able to kind of come full circle. I've been there as an intern. I've been there as a niece. And now I get to be there like as an employee of the Illinois Farm Bureau. And I just think that's so cool. Just when I think back on that and how far I've come. That along with, Jenna and we're going down the big yellow slide on Tuesday. So I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Yeah, that big yellow slide, we are definitely ready for that. As well as the ag community, like I say this all the time, it's a small community. And you get to network with people in the ag industry. And I think that's an awesome thing that we have the opportunity to do tomorrow, as well as film some of the legends of Illinois agriculture.
For our listeners, how do they find these videos, Katie?
If you go to the Illinois Farm Bureau Facebook page, the videos will be on there. So if you click, I think on the left-hand side, there's videos. You can see the ones that we've already posted. And then tomorrow you'll be able to see ours at the top of the news feed.
Yesterday on the stage at the Department of Ag tent, Jenna, you were able to talk to the audience, which I think was a good mix of sort of general consumers, ag folks, and you talked to a couple of issues, including, why livestock exhibiting and why being a part of the livestock industry is important.
Right. I think, me and Katie have both exhibited animals either at the county fair or at state fair. And they both have the same dynamic. You have to take care of those animals at least 3 times a day, if more than that. And for me, being a dairy kid, we don't have any holidays. We definitely get out and milk those cows every day of every year that I've ever been alive. So I kind of brought that to the attention of the consumers that they, we work tirelessly to have probably it actually is the best food supply in the nation.
Right.
So for that, I kind of touched on that, as well as the skills that we pick up from exhibiting, responsibility. You learn how to lose, and that makes you a little bit humble once you get to your young adult years.
Good point. Isn't that, Katie? I mean, that's well said.
Absolutely. Those lessons that you learn in the show ring are lessons that you can utilize the whole rest of your life.
You tweeted this, Jenna, over the weekend, and I agree totally. At the Parade of Champions on Saturday night, one of the judges really made a couple of great points. And you said if you're not moved by those comments in that Parade of Champions, something is wrong.
Right. Definitely the swine judges, both of them, it was almost like you said, a livestock sermon.
Yes.
And it was moving, but it's something that we take with us every day if you grew up on a livestock farm or any farm in Illinois or in the United States of America, and maybe even outside of that. But it was awesome because you see these kids have worked so hard to be in the Parade of Champions, and you can just see how their family is so proud of them. And I think that the family that won the Grand Champion Barrow, it was a moving experience, that's for sure.
And many of these families, it is through their children, but they've worked on these goals for a lifetime. So about 40 seconds left. You guys, again, get a plug-in for what you'll be doing tomorrow. Katie, and tell our listeners how they can find you and see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. So we're going to be showcasing some of the hidden gems of the Illinois State Fair, some of the best food, some of the best activities. If you go to the Illinois Farm Bureau Facebook page, if you haven't liked the page, go ahead and do that. Then our videos will show up in your Facebook news feed. But if you're already a subscriber, go ahead and check them out.
And I guess the advice to all three of us, let's get a good night's sleep so we can rock it tomorrow at Ag Day on the Illinois State Fair. Thank you both very much for the entire summer you being here. It's been great having you both. We'll be back tomorrow on Town and Country Partners.